The following program is rated TV MAL. It contains strong language and is intended only for mature audiences.
It's showtime.
That is right. It is showtime, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Wrestling Delorean Podcast, episode 121. Of course, the host, Stevie, went out to see here with me, hermano, the greatest man right here with the IQ that no one has, and unfortunately, not even Miami Dolphins has right now. As we're getting the first L right now.
I'm trying to take the all ego Ethan Page gimmick right now.
That is right. Ladies and gentlemen, Dan Bakley, Cage My IQ is here with me. That is right. But, of course, no director. He is busy today. And, of course, no Matt Callis. And, of course, Mike De Niro. We're wishing him a speedy recovery as he's had surgery this morning. Cannot disclose that. You got to ask him, or you can ask Dave Meltzer or Sean Rossap. They'll tell you. But he'll be back. He'll be back soon.
He'll be back better than ever.
He'll be back better than ever. But yes, before we do begin the show, just be very brief. Don't forget, for all you men and ladies out there as well, get your Manscaped merchandise, courtesy of De Niro. Speaking of De Niro, make sure you put the code DeLorean. You get 20% off of all your Manscaped merchandise. Make sure you purchase it. You want to keep those balls nice and clean and for the ladies. So make sure you use the code DeLorean to get your 20% off and purchase all your Manscaped merchandise on manscaped.com. Do not forget. And also wanted to wish as well condolences to, as you can see, to the family of Masters. Dan Masters, he is one incredible, fantastic person that I've met him personally, got to know him very well. A great human being, man. Such a tragic loss that we lost in the world of professional wrestling and the world itself. Dan Masters, who was a former WOW ring announcer and commentator, a former for Championship Hollywood Championship Wrestling from Hollywood ring announcer, but he was the highlight, the Mr. PCW himself of ring announcing. So nothing but giving our thoughts and prayers and condolences to the family of the Masters family, and rest in paradise, my brother. And you'll be announcing upstairs from above us, man. Too soon, man. That's absolutely too soon. All right, let's get into it, man. I want to get into it before we get into anything else. Matt, unfortunately, but I want to get your thoughts when you saw this, of course, on Rampage last Friday. You saw the great Muda making his comeback, of course. And now we're getting, Noah, and pretty much we're getting the great Muda and Sting at Noah on January the 23rd of next year. Break it down to me, Big Dan. Are you excited for that? Are you excited to see Sting versus a great Muda, Keiji Muto?
Of course, we know it's a big-time rivalry from back in the early days for these guys. These guys are old now. I'm interested. I'm intrigued. I'm going to give it a watch just to see how they do, how they hide each other's weaknesses, of course. It could be a short match. It could go a little bit where they kind of do a slow pace to allow things to develop. But it was cool. You saw him come out. You thought he was going to blow the mist and Sting, but then he did the Buddy Matthews, and then they hugged at the end. Maybe it's a thing because they did so much here that Sting is doing Muda a favor by wrestling him over there at Noah. So I'm enticed to watch it.
Oh yeah, I'm intrigued. I want to see. I think it's the first time we're seeing Sting out there in front of, I don't know, while in Japan. So I'm really stoked to how the crowd's going to be, and might sell out, man. I'm wondering if that's pretty much technically. Well, no, it's way after Wrestle Kingdom. This is January 22nd of 2023. Okay, okay. So yeah, this was right after Wrestle Kingdom. So yeah, it's going to be a jam-packed house.
Yeah.
I see that happening. And the other one, I want to hear your thoughts. What do you thought about Action Bronson in that, wrestling, man? I just
he did a great job. I have to give him his props. You know, he had the no bump clause in his contract, and he actually took 1 or 2 bumps. Still, they weren't too bad. It was enough to where it didn't bother him, but he looked good. You know, moving along the ropes, ducking under him, doing the double clothesline. You know, he had some big power moves that he did. I was impressed with them. Of course, when you're only prepping for one match compared to like 3-4 a week for like a year, it's a lot different. But for a guy who doesn't wrestle and he was prepping for this, he did a very sensational job.
Yeah, I was impressed too, man. I didn't expect him to do a power slam or even the shoulder tackles. I was really, wow, okay, this guy can move. I wouldn't mind seeing him if he becomes like, you know, like the kind of like the next Bad Bunny in a way, you know, like, but a big guy of himself. I wouldn't mind seeing him actually, you know, doing it here and there part time. I think I'm invested to see, and he moved very, very well, honestly. Yeah, he did a fantastic job. I was really happy for him. And another thing that happened this past weekend, which I want to talk about because I want to get your thoughts, and that is, of course, Victory Road. Man, I think most of us, it is difficult for us to talk about Impact because there's so much shit happening in the world of professional wrestling.
Yeah. I was watching, like with how my dual setup is on my computer. I was watching Impact on my main one, and then I had Rampage on my laptop right there. So I was watching both at the same time. Oh, because I was so invested in watching Victory Road because the big thing for me was the Barbed Wire Massacre match, which I was hyped for, which wound up being the main event. So I was like, I gotta watch this. I was like, at least with Rampage, I could watch it tomorrow if I needed to, like right off of a recording. I had the Impact on subscription on YouTube. I actually just got done kind of watching a little bit of Impact because I usually do the YouTube version because it cuts out all the commercials. You start at 8:30 and then they finish at the same time, which is awesome. I love it. I love watching it. Or if I want to watch it later, it's only like an hour and a half, so it's like it's an easy watch. So like I take advantage of it, but I thoroughly enjoyed Victory Road.
Oh man, definitely. I did enjoy the main event. How you mentioned, look at that, man. Yeah. Sammy Callahan dedicated for Cactus Jack. I enjoyed that, man. And then of course the unexpected debut of Bobby Fish as he made his debut at Victory Road, and the announcement for Bound for Glory as we see Raymond being done to the Hall of Fame. Way much needed. I think I'm wondering why it took so long to do it now. I think, man, I was really like, what? Why?
I think it's because they do one a year, so it's like you got like a backlog of people in front of him at the time, which I do agree. Everybody that has gotten in already deserved it before him, but it's at least good now that it's like, boom, okay, he's in now. Okay, it was much needed. I think they should start doing maybe 2 a year now, maybe 3. So they can cut back on this. You don't want a guy that has to wait like 20 years because you only do one a year.
Yeah, no, totally. I agree. But this event was really fantastic. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I had to go back and rewatch it the following day. But man, this was Impact, another underrated promotion, man. Even like right now, like they had their episode tonight. Seeing that Monstrous Ball, Masha Stemovich and Ali Catch, wow, that was an insane match.
Oh, I know.
Oh,
exactly. God. But like you look at them, it's a great show, a great promotion, and they've done so much better under the new regimen. It's just that they're tucked away on a network that not a lot of people watch.
Yeah.
But then because of that, they decide, okay, we have to do it on this network. We'll do a partnership with YouTube. Subscribe, pay $5, which would probably be how much you would have to pay to add that channel on, and you can watch it commercial free, and then get these these special pay-per-views that we made. Like they only do like the main 3 or 4 and the quarterly, which is great, but then they do like the small ones every other month to kind of give you more pay-per-views, and you get it basically for the cost of what you're paying for the month for YouTube, which is like $5. It's a can't miss.
Oh, no, agreed, 100%, man. That's why it's, man, we gotta work on something. Maybe we could do an Impact only show here one day. We're gonna have to do that. Maybe we can make that happen. Probably can make it happen. It'll come soon. It'll come soon, but we have to for sure. Just so much good shit in wrestling, man.
Such good shit.
Such good shit. That's right. Say it, Vince. Say it.
Such good shit.
It is good shit. That's what it is. But all right, and then of course I want to move on to WWE that Friday too, because I'm in. Tell me that this segment did not get to you at all. Like seeing Sami Zayn, I thought and then for a minute, oh, they're gonna kick his ass, and then got you a new one, and you see the crowd is going crazy, and then you did this, and you can just see oh man.
But before all this, they did their promo, they're ready to walk out, and he goes, cut the music, wait. And then you're like, what is about to happen? Because Sammy's the one who was like, cut the music, not done yet. And it segues into this thing after they're already done their promos. And then Roman's like, take your shirt off, take it off. And he took it off. He was like, you don't need that shirt anymore. Yeah. And you see everybody go, no. And then you see the serious faces. He's like, what? And then you see Jay in the background kind of smirk a little bit. You get a nice smirk. And then he was like, because I got you your own. Throws it. He looks at it. You see Jay smirk go away, and you see him kind of be like, what the fuck just happened? And then it says Honorary Oos. He puts it on. He's dancing around. Yeah, he does the handshake with Jimmy, and then he hugs, of course, Solo Sikoa. We'll probably get into that in a second about Raw, how like it feels like Solo Sikoa is like his bodyguard now.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna get into that, but man, yeah, like with Solo now, and then we've been seeing a lot of this, and with prior we're seeing Sammy, Solo telling Sammy, come with me, stopping Jay. No, you messed up last week. It started from there. So it's like, and then you see Jimmy like all happy too. But Jay's the only one with the smirk. Like, what? No, like he's not happy.
It's that PTSD. Like we keep saying from what's called Roman Reigns, like basically doing this to Jay, where he just beat him up because Jay's the one when Jimmy was out injured. He was pushing against Roman Reigns, and Roman Reigns kind of had to beat it into him that he needs to join him. And then he was just pushing him as main event Jay, and he kind of like messed with him. So it's like, he was like, I was his favorite. And now it's like, Sami Zayn kind of took away some of that thunder away from him. So he's jealous. And I think that's what it is. Because, Jimmy's not going to be jealous because he was never in that spot. Solo Sikoa just got called up. And then Paul Heyman is just the wise man. And he just came back. So it's a nice story within the story.
I love it, man. I'm in, and then seeing Sammy just picking up, great upset win when he beat AJ. I was like, whoa, that was a great upset for him. Yeah. I'm really invested in his storyline, man. I think honestly, I don't know how you feel about it. I think this is really gonna put Sammy way over the day when they turn on him. It's gonna put him over, like to the. I don't know.
He's already over.
No, he's already there. But that's like more like as an actual face the day when they turn on him though. That's where I'm like, okay, what would happen on the day when they turn on him? How would the crowd react? I know they're gonna be like, oh, boo, but I think they'll be more behind him after that. I mean, I'm invested.
A lot of people like somebody said this, and I kind of agree with them. Like some people like it's gonna be him and Kevin Owens to go after the Usos, but what makes you think it's going to be that? What makes you think he's not going to go after Roman Reigns in the title?
That's true.
Because of how over he's getting and he can screw Roman out of the title because of him being honorary use. He's done all this stuff for the bloodline, and then you would get kicked out.
Oh
Who
man,
knows?
yeah. Who knows? I'm looking forward.
I feel like everything that Sammy does, it turns to gold. Like you look at the Jackass thing, that was one of the big moments of WrestleMania. He sold like no other for Johnny Knoxville. He did that. He was doing the Fidel Castro gimmick for over a year. That was money. You had him and Kevin Owens. They were working. Was it 3-4 years ago? They were working with Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon and everything with that. You know, he's done almost everything you could do. Like as a gimmick, like he's not R-Truth, but he's not far off. Like he's a more serious, funny gimmick type of guy, and that's why he got the extension that he got, because he's always going to have a place on the show. They'll find a place for him just because he's must watch.
Oh man, yeah, I totally agree. And just to see that, I mean, I'm happy for Sammy. At least still like the most watched. You know, it's just like how you mentioned. It's just, man, Sammy. No matter what, any kind of gimmick you give him, he knows how to run with it. I commend him for it.
It's weird. Like it's weird. Like last night, I was bored, so I needed something to watch before I went to bed, and I was watching the Mixed Match Challenge, and seeing him on there with the short hair.
Yeah,
it's so weird now, because I was like, you're so used to it. Now he has the long hair and the facial hair. It's just like he looks like a totally complete person.
Oh yeah, he looks so fucking totally different, man. But I'm loving this, Sammy. If he does go for the title, I will be what? But there's so many ways how you could book it. You know, having Sammy, you know, going after Roman. I mean, of course, I don't see him.
It could be the reason that the person with the briefcase wins the belt. It could be the reason. And I'm saying the person. I'm not saying Theory. I'm saying the person, because who knows who's going to have the briefcase. But he could be the reason why that happens.
That is very, very true. And then, of course, and then on Raw, we had the return of course, Candice LeRae. She made her return to Monday Night Raw. That shocked me. I
love her.
Yes, I'll do it for you because I know you want. I know you want your Flanders. I know you did.
The Poison Pixie.
The Poison Pixie. Just hearing that theme song, like, oh, what? I wasn't shocked, and man, I am excited, man. The women's division is going to be back in action. I'm hoping we see. Man, I'm excited, man. I'm excited for Candice to be back, man. So, I mean, what are your thoughts?
Gargano posted a picture on Instagram. He was like, it was him holding his son in the ring, and then LeRae in her, I guess, her workout clothes on the outside, and he said, I guess Quill wasn't the only one I was working out in the ring in this past month, because they were working out together, getting her ready since he was already here. And we got Kofi saying, "We live, baby."
We're live, baby. What's going on, Kofi? Make sure you subscribe to Dirty Heels Podcast, man.
But I think this is like I've had a lot of theories moving forward that I gave the other day. I was on. It was me. Well, I was on last night with Tim, Nick, Kyle, and Justin, and I've had a lot of theories. And I said, with her coming back, now you kind of have that Survivor Series match, possibly one of the War Games match where you got Bianca, Alexa, you got Asuka, and then Candice LeRae.
There you go.
Against Damage Control, and then maybe another woman.
Oh man, you nailed it right in the coffin. Hell yeah! You know what? It makes sense because then because Candice is the one who has also the experience in the War Games besides Bianca. But hell yeah, White. Woo, I love it. Hey, I freaking
love it.
Exactly. I love it. Good shit right there.
And she looked good. She looked good against Nikki.
Nikki Ash, yeah, she looked great.
Yeah. And maybe this is the start of Nikki changing her gimmick because she took the mask off.
Yeah.
She was just so shell shocked that maybe this is the start of that, because you've seen hints in the background of vignettes of her fighting with Dewdrop and throwing stuff at her in the background, that this is the time she goes heel for here, not just like a superhero gimmick heel, but heel.
Oh yeah. Then could we see the old Nikki Ash in Sanity style? Could we see that maybe happening? I mean, it fits her with Piper Niven. I just wish they could just give her the name back instead of Dewdrop. And I mean, that'd be an insane fucking, that would be an insane tag team right there. Honestly, having Piper Niven and Nikki Ash, being the Sanity person. But I mean, who knows? You never know. I'm looking forward to see how that. But I'm glad that Candice is back and now in the main roster. So we're waiting for Indy. Let's see how Indy does. That's what I'm waiting for. So
yes.
And then finally we get this clarification. Finally, we got these two individuals here. Finally, one of them who went on IG Live. No, don't believe the dirt sheets. They're telling you, bullshit. They finally went online to actually clarify it. And what is going on, Kyle? Hey, Kyle.
What's going on?
What's going on, brother? Thank you so much for tuning in. Yes, sir. And then Buddy Matthews, of course, he took some time off as well for personal reasons. Maybe with nagging injuries. But Malachi, I'm kind of glad that he kind of cleared it out here. I want to ask you, were you happy that at least Malachi kind of clarified that and was just sick and tired of this, with the dirt sheets just bringing out this bullshit. So, I mean, tell me your thoughts about what Malachi's, pretty much to say to why he's taking time off.
There's two ways you can go with this because there's two different viewpoints of this. One is, of course, the fact that the dirt sheets just put it out there. And then he's tired of everybody talking about it, so he wanted to clear it up and just say, no, I'm taking time off. Of course, depression and just everything emotionally, he needs that time off. It takes a while. He could be out 1 to 2 months, or he could be out 4 to 5 months. You don't know. It depends. It changes from person to person. But then he wanted to clear it up so people knew that he was still coming back. He wasn't leaving. But then there's the other viewpoint that maybe he talked to WWE. He wanted to go back and with Triple H, even though he had really no direction in WWE. He had great direction in NXT. Goes to WWE, and they don't do anything with him. I remember he got hurt. He came back. And then he wasn't even being used for almost 9 months. Came back, did the eye thing, didn't get used again for another 6 months, and then got released. So, but he always has had a great relationship with Triple H. But then it came out that Tony Khan was somebody told Tony Khan, yo, dude, these guys are under contract for 4 or 5 years. You don't have to let them go. Because he's just saying he'll let him go because he wants to be a good person. But it's as a businessman, you let him go. He could be just saying that he's having issues so he could go right on over to WWE because you're just going to let him out of his contract right away.
Yeah.
So he comes out and Tony says that he's not letting people out of the contracts anymore if they're under contract for a long period of time, 4 or 5 years. I bet if it was if he had 6 months left, it would be a different story because it's okay, I might as well let him out now. But 5 years is a long time. So maybe Malachi was frustrated the fact that he couldn't get out of his contract, and now he's in a situation where he's kind of stuck here, and he doesn't want people to just talk about it all the time, and it's getting on his nerves that's all that's being talked about. So he wanted to clear things up and kind of smooth things over because he's in this situation now. and he just wants to be kind of left alone right now. So it depends on what way you take it. Like, it depends, because the only person that knows is Malachi.
Yeah.
And same thing with Buddy. Like, we don't know exactly why he's taking time off and for what reason. You could say Buddy has been going full throttle for the past year between the Indies with New Japan Strong and then this. Like, he could just be burnt out a little bit and needs time off, or he was looking forward to going to back to WWE. But I think with Buddy, it's just him. Maybe he's burnt out and he needs time off.
Yeah, I feel the same. They were stating, "Oh, what's going on? Championship on the line. What's going on?" Rich and Alex, what is up? But you know what? I think they mentioned that Buddy had to go back to Australia for his visa. He had to renew it. So that's one of them they're saying. I don't know if that's 100% true, but if it is, good for him. He has to take care of that. But prior to,
I know he had issues with it before.
Yeah,
too.
Yeah, he had issues with it before. So if he had to go back and renew it, then it's good for him. But if he needs a break, why not? Give the guy a break. I mean, for me, like I said, I'm not going to jump to conclusions if he's going to leave or not. Same with Malachi. I'm kind of glad that Malachi went and kind of pretty much cleared the whole air and pretty much saying, fuck them dirt sheets, and I'm happy that he at least went on and not believing, hey, look, I want to take time off. This is my personal time. Can I spend time with my wife? I have maybe nagging injuries. I need to tell you guys. It's kind of like the same how, we talked about it last fight about Saray. But nobody knew about her losing weight or anything else. She didn't disclose that. She was really quiet about it. And so, I mean, I respect that. I really, at the end of the day, they're all human beings just like us,
And and of course, his wife has been hurt.
That's right.
Been injured. She's been out of action for the last, I think, 6 months. Yeah. So she's been home. So maybe like between him, like going through everything and then not seeing her and then her being home, they're two different promotions. He just needed to check out, like, which is okay. Like, of course, WWE Charlotte has been out since May. She's been out for 6 months, and because she got married, and then she's just been out all this time, which she kind of warranted, like, the sense of how much she's worked the past 5-6 years and what she's done for the company, and it's which I'm gonna get into that a little bit later. But like he's been working a lot. Like I said, mental illnesses are no joke. No. You gotta make sure you take care of them, and time off is time off. Like, of course, Tony Khan's gonna be like, yeah, take time off, yeah. But I think it was great for him to just put his foot down and be like, okay, I'm not going to allow people to get out of their contracts anymore, just so they can go over to the other side. Like he was doing it before because he didn't want that bad blood. He wanted the work relationship to stay there. But it's like it's a difference. Like I said, when it's a short contract, but when he signed guys for 4, 5, 6 years, and they want to get out of the contract 4 years early, it's like, that's a bad investment right there. And then you got to be like, no, like, I can't do it, because you're just going to go over there and you're going to go and help my competition out. It was like, so you're going to stay here, take your time off, because I know you're dealing with this, come back and we'll figure something out for you storyline wise. Who knows? In 4 or 5 months when he comes back, there could be a storyline built in already for him to go, because you got Brody, who's still going to be there with Julia Hart. I'm very intrigued to see how they push him as a singles guy now, because they've done a good job with Brody, like booking wise. And then now you have Julia, who I love that managerial character that she has with like the what was it, Van Helsing look that she has with the hat.
Oh
all black, and then she wrestles a lot on dark, and then she has that great new music and character. I love it. Like they can push that. They can push him. Like I could see. I know we've been talking about pushing like somebody like Hobbs to face Wardlow, but come on now. Like I was thinking today, come on now, Wardlow against Brody Lee. That'd
Brody
be
King, yes,
big time.
Oh,
and then of course have Joy Hart there as like your manager to kind of like put him over the top a little bit and make it a better match. Like I'm waiting for it.
Oh man, hell yeah, I'm waiting for it too. Hey, that'll be that'll be a fucking hell of a match. That is for sure. But now it is time, ladies and gentlemen. It is that time. No, it ain't Vader time. It is Dynamite! And that is right. Dynamite, ladies and gentlemen. Time to get into it. I know Dan already talked about it last night on the Wrestling Gimmicks podcast, but shout out to Tim and all my brothers out there, the Wolfpack, man. But it's time to talk about some Dynamite here because, man,
one's up. We got Clark Street in the comments. What up, family? And
we the ones. Yes. After dirt sheets. That's what
the dirt
said.
sheets.
After dirt sheets. Yes. We said it.
Yes.
After dirt sheets. I am with you, mi familia, for sure.
One with the honorary oos.
Love it. Oh man, let's get into the JAS appreciation. Look at that right there. Look at them. Look at how the hell they look, man.
Somebody had a meme where it was a picture of them on top, and then a picture of the what was it, the Cobras from Dodgeball.
Oh yeah, that's right. In the Cobras. Oh my God, I saw that. I was fucking cracking up. Oh my God. Oh man, but this segment, man, can we? You know what I thought? Honestly, this segment, I thought Garcia was gonna tell Jericho, "Hey, you know what? Guess what? You're the Ring of Honor World Champion. Pure. I was just informed that I'm the one that gets a shot at your title. At the next event." I was waiting for him to say it, but then I guess they're teasing it. I guess they're holding it down. I didn't want to tease it, but seeing Garcia, of course, beating up the Pizza Man, of course, and Luigi. But man, I'll get into it when we get to the main event. But so far, I mean, since seeing Bryan Danielson coming out and telling him, "Hey, you can do whatever you want. You don't have to be, you don't have to be here. You can do whatever you like, or you can join the BCC." But Jericho, no, he belongs to me. And I was really shocked of Garcia saying, "Oh, you know what? Well, you get your boy Sammy, and then I got, I'll team up with Brian, and we see each other next week in a tag match." I mean, is it going to happen, or do you feel like it's going to be a double turn? Do you see Garcia playing us on along and really fucking just saying, "No, I'm with Jericho"? Like, what are your thoughts about this? How this all started?
I think he is going to wrestle, and like I said, I think he's going to wind up being on his own. I don't think he has to go to the Blackpool Combat Club. He's just going to go on his own, but be with Bryan Danielson. But like I was saying, like I even said it. I was like, watch. First, it's going to be Jericho and Danielson again for the title, because I'm like, you had that big matchup. It's another former Ring of Honor champion, and big name. They just wrestled twice, 1-1. So now you got that third matchup. And I was like, I even said it 2 weeks ago. I was like, watch, it's going to be in Toronto, because that's where Jericho's from. They're going to want to build that show up. And boom, right there. I love everything they're doing with the Ring of Honor World title being on Jericho. I love it. And I love the fact that right now Garcia has the pure title. So they're kind of going to be linked together. And now that they have this friction, I said at the end of the day, I think Garcia takes the world title off of him. I think he does, but it's going to be a few months from now. Like, there's a lot of integral parts in it, because we'll go through the show, and I got to wait until the main event to give my opinion on all that. But this was a great segment. Yeah, it was a good, like, I said this all along that I like what they're doing. They're explaining stuff. This was a great show where they were building up to next week. They're doing a lot of building and whatnot. They're building blocks to other things, not just random matches and then they don't go anywhere. They have plans for everything that are stemming from the show, and they've been doing that the last month with who they have. Like, I like how they had the segment. You see him give him the hat. He's trying to coerce Garcia to stay with them. He puts the hat on him, and Garcia's like, I've had enough. I've had enough. He just like, you had like Sammy and Ty kissing in the background, and then just playing with the pizza, eating pizza. You got, of course, 2.0 doing the talking for Jericho. Anna J came in, did her one. I'll choke you out. I'll choke you out.
Oh my god!
For like 2 minutes to the Philly crowd, and then he was getting ready to say, "That's it, I'm leaving." And Jericho was like, "No, you're staying." He's telling him he has to stay, and then Garcia was like, "No one tells me what to do." And then, like you said, Brian Danielson comes in and he's like, you can do what you want. You can stay with them. You can come with us. You can train with them. You can train with us. You can do whatever you want. And then that's when he was like, oh, let's make this match. And then the best part was him knocking out Luigi.
Yeah.
Knocking that out. And then he made the comment. He was like, do you want to see me wake up Luigi and make a pizza with him? I'll do that. Do you want to see me form a tag team with Justin Roberts? I'll do that. Do you want to see this tag team going up against Jericho and Sammy next week? Let's do that. I'm seeing more personality out of Daniel Garcia every week.
Exactly. I was going to say that too, and you took the words out of my mouth. That ever since, that's why I said in the beginning a while back, why it was great for him to be with Jericho. It makes sense because he's going to help him develop his charisma, his mic skills, and it has. And you even seen it from Menard and, I forgot the other guy's name. Jesus Christ, always forgot. What was it?
Luke. Oh, Cool Hand Luke.
Yeah. Well, you see, like, look at them. Like, the same with them, their mic skills kind of went up more. And they're showing more character development, too. Like, they're not really shy longer, That's the great part about, even though this faction doesn't make any sense, but then again, we get it why they put it together, because just to help these guys elevate the charisma. That's why Jericho is a good joke. But I'm gonna get to that until we get to the main event. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, and, a lot of people are tired of Jericho and what he's doing, but doing a lot. He's doing a lot of building, and he's doing a lot of putting people over on every side. Like, he's here, I'll say it to the moon and back. I was like, after the moon. There you go. That's it. After the media scrum, like, he took his place as like the leader of the locker room, and he takes that serious. And he's like, okay, gotta do this, gotta do that. We gotta have these locker room meetings, like with all the talent. Him, Brian Danielson, and Moxley, and he's the one heading it all. He's been putting people over every week. Even if he wins or doesn't win, he's making people look like $1 million with what he's doing. Yep. And the way he just rejuvenates himself and creates a new character. Like, come on now. He's going from the Lion Tamer to, what was it? To
the Painmaker.
The Painmaker. To then Le Champion.
Then Le Champion.
And then what was the one from last night?
Was it the Wizard?
Oh, the Ocho.
The Ocho. The Ocho. Now that's
and then we got the Wizard. And then the Wizard. And then we got the Wizard. And then the Ocho, yeah.
Oh, man. And then, of course, right after that segment, we had Menard challenging Brian Danielson, and it happened. Of course, that matchup, the great opening match between these two individuals. I like Menard. He is very, very underrated, but I actually like him. You know what? Brian thinks everybody looks good. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah. And then one thing I like is, like, I like to watch Dark because they have Matt Menard come on and do commentary.
Oh, I
with
love
Tony Schiavone, and it's funny. It's money
He
on
is
dark
money,
with
man.
that. Yes. So it's like he already that tag team already has the personality, but now they're learning like the integral parts of Tarkin and then wrestling from guys like Jericho, and then he gets to come in here and wrestle with one of the most technical guys in the business in Bryan Danielson. He made him look better. But tell me the funniest part of this match wasn't Claudio coming down, picking up Kool-Aid Luke, and then carrying him to the back.
Yes, I love that. That was like a great part right there during the matchup. He's literally just carrying his ass and come on, I'm taking you to the back. But I was happy to see.
Yeah.
Brian's another one, man. He's another great leader in the locker room, how you mentioned too, besides Jericho, that just really want to help the product to get it going. And putting Menard like this in this situation, for an opening match, it's fucking fantastic. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I see nothing wrong with this matchup. It was great to see now finally we're going to see a tag team single having a singles match. Most of the time we see Dax Hardwood, and now we're seeing Menard finally having his single. So I'm really happy. I'm really, really happy for him.
They're getting a lot of use of the roster with I hate to say it, with the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, and CM Punk not there. You're seeing them stretching the roster, using them more. And like I said in weeks past, they're booking both Dynamite and Rampage more completely. They're not doing everything on Dynamite. They're kind of stretching it along both shows, so it makes both shows more watchable.
Yeah, indeed. I totally agree with you on that. And then, of course, we could move on to this segment, but what's going to happen, of course. The MJF dealer. Jesus Christ. These two guys. I'll tell you one thing about this segment. Yuta, at least last week, a choke. But this one, of course, he was a hometown hero. MJF, you could tell, MJF could have buried him, to be honest. Mike wise. But he allowed him, Wheeler to get his moment to shine with his hometown crowd. Seeing Yuta challenging him. I'm excited to see MJF back in the ring. So I'm excited for that.
Well, yeah. That's always been one of my criticisms of him is he's not in the ring enough. He wrestles once every 3 months or whatever. But I actually thought that where Yuta got to MJF because he made great points. He was like, "You're better than me on the mic. You're great on the mic. You are getting paid." But he was like, "When you step in the ring, I'm better. I'm way better than you." He was like, "You're a coward." He was like, I'll beat the living hell out of you. Like, I'm just a better wrestler than you. And you hide behind people. You hide behind the firm. You hide behind every group that you're in. And it was like, it's just me and you right now. He was like, I'm going to come down there and beat your ass. And he's trying to.
As boys.
Yeah. And of course, MJF comes out with a Mets jersey on in Philly. So that's getting him heat right from the start. And then apparently they don't show it right before Dynamite starts. You see him singing the Mets theme song, their fight song, over on the speaker thing to just further get heat from the fans, which is the best part ever. But where Yuta goes to go up the ramp, and of course the Gun Club pops up to save him. So it's like, whoa. I liked how he was like, I'm not even going to say my theme and my catchphrase for these Philly fans. You do it. And he gives it to his buddy in the Gun Club, and they say it, and then they go up. I thought it was a good segment because, of course, they're trying to build this up. I even said it. I was like, they're going to try and build up Wheeler Yuta. He doesn't have to win. But the fact that they move him from ROH and now he's in like a AEW segment now with a guy like MJF, that means they trust him. That means that they have plans for him, win or lose. And he gets better each time. That's why it was so great that last May, instead of having them stay and do the pay-per-view, he went over to Japan and did the best of the Super Juniors because he was able to hone a lot of his craft there and fight a lot of great talent, and it's showcasing over here. And now he can really take advantage of everything. And these two guys have a past in the regional scene.
Exactly. Yep. Definitely. Yeah. They know each other very well in the independent circuit for sure. And they had a rivalry. That's for sure that I can recall seeing. So I'm looking forward to seeing how these two guys mesh up next Wednesday. So I'm really excited. And of course, throughout to that, we had, of course, the AEW World Championship Eliminator, of course, Rock Hard Juice Robinson challenging Jon Moxley. Guess throughout the match, I see they mentioned it, but we'll get into the free agency. But this match, I really enjoy it. You can never go wrong when you have a Juice Robinson and Moxley. Juice is another underrated guy. Doesn't give his credit.
Yes,
credit's due. We know where he came from NXT.
We got a video package on this one.
That's right, and I was going to mention that too. Thank God, he's watching us. He's listening to us. TK, you are watching and you're listening to us when we're telling you how we critique. AEW, this is what you need to do. All right, TK?
That's fucking bullshit.
No, you're bullshit, all right? You're bullshit, TK, because you
just take the compliment.
Just take the compliment. We're helping you here. But, man, the packages we've been seeing so far, even recapping the last week.
And a lot of people are complaining that this wasn't as great of a match as what they've done before, and it wasn't good for Juice Robinson getting beat like he did. I thought the opposite. I thought it was great because he's a free agent. They're like, Bull Club is looking weak here. He's a free agent. He's with no company right now. He's not going back to New Japan apparently. So he's testing the waters everywhere. So of course he's going to be the one putting the AEW talent over. And they already have history, so it makes it even better. They had a very physical match. He attacked him from the beginning. He got a lot of his moves in. He had 2 or 3 close 3-count pins, but it got Moxley kicked out at 2 every time. And the only bad part was it was a shorter match than we thought it was going to be. It was like 10 minutes or so. It's still fine. It's still fine. He still looked good. It's Juice Robinson. He came out and he had the video package so people get to know him. And who knows? He could stay with the AEW now. He can stay there. He's been showing up on Impact with, of course, the Finesse Club and with Ace Austin.
And Chris Bay. He was there tonight. He was there tonight. The 6-man tag. It was to them.
No, it was a 2-on-2.
Oh, 2-on-2.
Managing them. It was just the manager.
Okay. Oh, I thought it was 6-man. Okay.
So he's peering on there. So it's like he's showcasing himself. So it's like you got to showcase yourself, and they're not going to put over a talent that's not even going to be on the show, and then possibly he might get signed. Who knows? And then because of that could be a good thing for the Bullet Club, kind of getting back into AEW.
Yeah. I mean, for me, otherwise, I'd rather have him freelance, let him go around and test the waters, and every promotion is better that way for him. Like how, you mentioned Impact, he's doing Impact. Shit, I wouldn't even mind seeing him go to AAA or, even going to MLW, Aztec, the Bullet Club, like going and adventuring every other promotions. Make the Bullet Club name to be known out there to every other promotion. Like he is an actual member, and he has the right to use it. They can't really tell him no. But the only thing is that, because funny thing, Gato was there. Gato was at Philly. Yes. And that's what I'm like, okay, why is Gato here? So I get it has to be. That's why, in a way, I feel like Gato's really allowing Robinson here. Look, go test the waters, but I'm right here if you want to come back and come. Exactly. And I think Gato will convince him to come back. I think the way how he booked Robinson, how he, the G1.
Well, not just that. Like I was gonna say, isn't it kind of funny going into the G1? We thought that was going to be the last tour for David Finlay. Yeah. And what did he do right before that? He did the show in AEW.
Yeah.
Where he wrestled. And we thought, oh, maybe Dave Finley's going to go to AEW, but first he's going to do that one last G1 because he's never been in the G1. He has a great start to the G1. He gets some big victories, and then he gets a U.S. title shot, and now he looks entrenched and back with New Japan. He's not going anywhere. Whereas it was kind of the opposite for Juice Robinson, where he was sky high hot, and then went to the G1, and now he's a free agent. So he kind of went the opposite. So it's kind of funny how that tag team went going into the G1. It played a big factor between the two of them. But now he has more leeway being in the Bullet Club where he can stretch and go anywhere else, but still has some stuff to do because he's in a big stable.
Yeah. I mean, also depends too, like, how they book his, his fiance, future wife, Toni Storm.
Yeah.
I mean, depending, what, his availability time to spend time with her right now that she is the women's champion. Not interim, Devin. Women's champion. The real women's champion. No disrespect to Thunder Rosa, even though it's Latin month, but hey, I love Thunder Rosa, so but still, she should be. But I think it all depends on that, how their schedule is. But I think right now, I think it's going to test the waters. Something tells me, Dan, that this guy might be bullshitting us again. And it turns out, how you mentioned right now about Finley, might see the same shit here with Robinson. Probably going back to New Japan and might see him a declaration of power, or probably see him like right after declaration of power, maybe during the autumn fucking tour. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see him. So I think maybe
you could see him pop up anytime. We saw Jay White kind of do it, where he kind of disappeared, like, and then came back into the picture like 3 weeks later. Like, guys do this for leverage, and if they see that they're where he wanted, they'll be back. And Gato being at AEW was a big sign that there could be plans. It could be a thing where he's like, okay, it was like maybe have a handshake deal that you're still with New Japan, but I'll let you be in AEW for a while. And then that's why he was there to talk to Tony Khan, because Tony Khan was in the picture with Gato.
Oh, yeah. Yes. No, I'm not. I'm not going to say it, David. Okay.
Zion!
I'm not going to say it, all right? It's women's champion. No, it's not that. No. But you know what? Also I thought too, Dan? I thought, okay, Gato, Royal Quest. Why isn't that going to Royal Quest? Why is he still here in the States? He should be going to unless he's coming. But doesn't make sense. How the hell are you going to come Japan to United States to Europe?
Well, it's not that hard, because if you think about it, today, FTR just left this morning, so
yeah. Or he took yes.
Where did you start? I got too many theories. Don't get...
I know.
I got too many right now.
We said it on Tuesday. We said it. What about it? If he does fucking take him, oh my god. I swear, dude, I will fucking lose my mind if that does happen. Oh my god. Oh man, but we'll see with Rock Hard, man. We'll see. We'll see what the outcome for him.
And I like the end of the match where they had, of course, MJF in the box suite, and it was kind of funny because the box suite was empty. There was nothing in the box suite. It looked like it just emptied out, like no one was using it, but he was there, of course. And then he's talking. He's talking about, hey, he was like, don't worry about fighting each other, because at the end of the day, whoever wins, I'm gonna take it from you guys. And then you see Wheeler Yuta just pop up right behind him and then just crack him and start beating the shit out of him. And he's like, where's the security? Where's the security? As he's trying to get up. It was great. It was great.
I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. And then, of course, we do have the Soraya segment, of course, saying, okay, why is she here? She did mention on her Twitter she was nervous. She choked out a little bit. She kind of mentioned the revolution twice. What she did. Like, instead of saying, I'm here to help, building of revolution, but she's saying, I am the revolution. I'm like, all right. Hey, it's okay. I'm not discrediting her at all. I am.
She just needs, the more she's out there, the better she's going to get and more comfortable she's going to get.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's going to give her time, it's been 5 years. I mean, shit. When did they cancel Backstage? Remember the show? When did they cancel? Like about 2 years ago, right? Or like a year?
2 years ago, yeah.
2 years ago, yeah. So she's been off of media, TV for during those times. So it's not her fault. I'm not blaming her at all. But I know I did see, of course, shout out to Tim King, of course. I did see you guys, the recap asking, and I saw Devin's question. Will Saraya help the women's division? Man, so I mean, I want you to recap your answer, man. I want to let the people know. Will she help the division?
I think she's going to help. I think right now, because who knows if she's cleared to wrestle or not. But you need that vocal person in there that's going to enforce change. That's going to be Tony. We need the women on the television more. We can't have them just be an afterthought. We can't just have these random matches. We need change, and she's going to demand it. I think just even though her promo needed work, like I still think she got a point across, and I love the fact that she cut the promo. She basically said that Tony has her back, and then she told the producer no. We get more time. Like she was just saying that they tried to cut her off, and she said no, and then she kept going. That's a good sign that she was like, we need more time. And then I liked how they had like the faces come out and then the heels come out. We know that because of the hurricane that there was probably supposed to be more people that were going to come out, but this is all that they had there at the time. So they had to work with what they had at the moment. But it was like, okay, it led up to the match. You essentially had two segments in a row with the women. You had the promo, and then you had the match between Toni Storm and Serena Deeb. And then on top of that, you had Saraya, who people were like, oh, it was random that she did this and then just walked out. She was on commentary for the match. Yeah. That was a big thing. You had her on commentary. You had the two women fighting in the ring, and then you had the other women on the outside for the lumberjack match. It was giving a lot of women time on, and it was showing a point that they need to do more of this. They need to get the women on more and make the women's division a priority now, because it's been an afterthought. It's going to take time, but it's going to happen. And she was the revolution, in my opinion, for NXT, because she was the one big one, and then she came in and won the title right away. But then she got misused after that, in my opinion, with the way things went. And then,
you know how Vince is. Hey,
and then he was, and a lot of people were like, well, they did a lot for her with her injury and mental. Yeah, they did, which is great. She's thankful for that. But then she sat there for 3 years on a contract doing nothing when she wanted to do something. And they made her ride the contract out before she was able to go and do anything else, because they weren't going to let her do anything. They kind of did the same thing with Bryan Danielson, but he just chose to like help sell for the company towards the end. And she couldn't even do it because she was getting cleared by her doctors, but not by the WWE doctors. She was kind of stuck in like that. And who knows what's happening here right now, but it's like, of course, she's going to say something about her, but I know she's never had anything bad about Triple H. It's just her relationship with Vince wasn't the best.
No, it wasn't, of course. And, I mean, it is Vince McMahon. It is Vince.
I have hope. I have hope for this, though. I have hope for the women's division, and I think she'll be. She has no problem voicing what she thinks Tony Khan needs to be done. Like, they need to be on there. They need to at least have one, maybe two matches. It's hard with the 2-hour program. It's kind of hard to do it. but I think it's doable.
Honestly, for me, it's not that I mean, it's doable. The only problem is just that you're so oversaturated with talent. And, and the problem is, like, how are you going to fit in this women's division? I mean, you're capable of doing it. It's not a problem. The thing is, for me, is you have to give them stories. Plot it. Give me the story. Tell me why are you putting these two girls together? You've done that before. The whole explanation with Thunder and Britt, how it was eventually going to come down, and it did. It came down with finally Thunder, overcame all the obstacles, and she finally got to Britt, who was a champion, and finally dethroned her. And then look what happened. And this is where I hate TK what he's done, though. It took him this long to realize about the women's division. And it is unfortunately that it had to happen right after when he got put on the spot about why you're giving Thunder Rosa only 30 seconds and you're giving Homeboy like 37 to 10 minutes instead of her. And it took that long for the media to and the IWC community.
Well, I could see why that happened. I could see why that happened with her, because there's a lot of question marks with her on the mic. She did a shit job with the Deeb rivalry. She with just what she was saying on the mic, and then you got some things that just didn't go right. It was supposed to be her against Chris Statlander. Then Statlander got hurt. Like, they've had some untimely injuries. But I've said this before, and I don't know why they don't go back to it. WCW used to do this kind of format for a while, and to me it worked. Why do you have to book everybody every week? Exactly. Why can't you book? Why can't you do like, okay, we got Dynamite and Rampage, book these people this week. Don't even use them the following week. Use another group of people, batch of people that week, and then go back to the first group in 2 weeks. So you're like rotating groups.
No, I agree.
And it allows you to use more people. You kind of let the storyline soak in for a week, and then you go to a new set of people. And it's like every week you're letting everything soak in, because it's not like, it's every other week. So you're like, okay, I can't wait to see what they do with this next.
Yeah.
But then you've got a new set of people. So you're using everybody almost on your roster, and it gives more time to the women, because it's like, okay, we got 4 women this week, and then we got 4 women next week. But I will say that I have been noticing that the last 3-4 months consistently, I still want to see more. We've seen at least 1 women's match on Dynamite and 1 women's match on Rampage consistently every week the last 3-4 months. So at least they're doing that. It could be worse, but they could be doing better. Like, I remember when I went, I saw last year, I saw the rivalry between Sheeta and Deeb, and it wasn't even for the title.
See, that was not bad. Whoever booked that between them, I don't know who booked it. If it was Dustin, kudos to him. Yeah. If it was Di Malenko or Jerry Lynn, I commend either one of them highly more, because this was like your Austin and Bret Hart feud.
And it was a year-long feud too, because it started in Philly. And I went to the first one where Deeb won, and then it ended in Philly, and Sheeta won.
Yeah,
because it was basically a best of 3.
Yeah,
that they made it.
They could do the same. I mean, they could do the same, or they could mix it up, but help develop it. Like, just give it an explanation. How does it all begin? Like, the one thing I know, I heard you last night. You got tired of Jade. Here's the thing, though. It's not Jade's fault. Jade's fault. She's not booked well. You have to give her. Here's the biggest problem. Hold on. I'll tell you what it is. The thing is that you're hyping her to be like your female version of Goldberg, because you're giving her all these wins and 0 losses. But you're not. It's just that, okay, that's a part of a storyline, right? But give me a storyline for the title to be like. I want her to be afraid. I want her to be like, oh shit, now I'm having a challenge. And that's what I thought they were gonna do with her and Athena, and they didn't even do it. They fucking dropped the ball on that fucking storyline. They annihilated, to be honest. It was
well, in that defense, how many botches did we have in that match because of
Jesus
Jade
Christ.
5? And that's where I go with her. It's like she could be better, and no matter how you're gonna book her, you could book her great. She could be great on the mic. You can have a storyline, but when she gets in the ring, that's the problem that I have with her.
Mm-hmm.
Is she's not showcasing it in the ring. She's whatever. She looked okay in the beginning, like okay, but because she wasn't doing long matches and she could hide things easier within that. But now she's getting longer matches, and she, for whatever reason, she just botches a lot now. That like she came out.
I don't know. Maybe,
like, okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
And then she just botched everything. And the match just looked bad. And to me, it wasn't Athena's fault because she was trying to sell for Jade. But it's like, and then people are like, well, that's because she's only wrestling once every 2 months. And I'm like,
that's the problem.
And I'm like,
book her every week.
Every week. And I'm like, every match that she does, she botches it, no matter what. So it's like, she has to show that she's gonna clean things up. Yeah, like we can showcase her more, you can put her out more, but what happens if she continues to botch every week? That's if you book her more.
That's TK's problem because of studying his bad booking. I it's funny because like towards right now, her matches have been looking not the best because of the chemistry. I don't see it. You're really facing Athena, who I'm not saying, Athena is up there as an in-ring performer. But Jade could have done something basic skill in-ring, at least sell for her. But, at the same time, where you're selling for Athena, do it right, there's ways how they can fix this. It's just, one thing I would say is book her, like how you said, every fucking week. Even on Dark, put her on fucking Dark. Let her get her fucking in-ring back again. You had her on Dark again prior. Why could you have her again? I wouldn't mind seeing her back again. Have her wrestle,
I think this is just a scenario where it gave the people what they wanted. The people wanted her to be a champion, and now it's
but he's not using her. But it's not. My thing is, what are you using her for? You're using the streak as a storyline. But it's not enough for me, to be honest. I think I need more.
I think she was doing well, and then she just fell off, and then that's why they stopped using her as much as they did. Because she was doing okay in the beginning.
Yes, she was.
But then something just happened where she started to just mess up a lot, and then maybe that's why they stopped using her, and they only use her as much as they can.
Yeah. I mean,
who knows? We don't know because
we don't know.
Only they know.
I agree. We'll see. I mean, with Soraya being added, I mean, could she be a voice for them? Okay.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it all comes down to this man, TK. Because he's one who's these plot these storylines. And I'm totally with you with that WCW plot line, like stories. That makes fucking sense how they should do it. Go back to that concept. Because it gives everything a refresher. And it gives everything like, shit, all right. And it makes a lot of sense. But, when you're going into live towns, of course, people are like, yeah, I want to be there. They want to sell tickets. They want to see the guys that you want to see every week. And that's probably what he thinks about. But who knows? But, I mean, I'm hoping Saray, it's not Sarai, it's Saray. I mean, hopefully how she,
like, why not have 1 week you have the world champion there, then the next week you got the TNT champion there?
Yeah, I agree.
And then you keep them on separate shows.
Yeah,
separate shows, but separate weeks. I mean,
yeah, several weeks. Yeah, several weeks. Yeah, I agree. We'll see. We'll see how they. I'm not gonna say yes or no. I'm not saying yes or no about Saray. If she could, what could she deliver for the women's division? I have to wait and see. All of us have to wait. It's just barely week one. I'm not gonna jump on a gun right away. Oh yeah, she's gonna do. Nah, I'm not saying that either. I don't know. It just It all comes down behind the scenes, the booking. How are they going to book it? Yes, she put on Twitter about this match right here, the lumberjack, and you see how she was on commentary. She said, and you see how Taz got corrected. He's like, no, we're not lumberjills, lumberjacks. Okay, remind you, we're the same division, and I like that she brought that up to him. Like, hey, you're not in WWE. Like, hey, Vincent, hey, I'll call them jails because hey.
Taz was on point last night. He even, to go back to the Moxley and Juice match, he made a point to say, just to remind you guys, Juice Robinson is a free agent, and he pointed that out. So he was on point last night. But I love this match. This match was really good.
Hell yeah.
The ending was kind of scary, but they pulled it out right, and she did the right thing. And then she was moving. She was good. Nothing bad happened. With that, they were able to pull it out the way that it was supposed to be. The more and more that I see Toni Storm, the more and more comfortable I get with how she's looking in the ring in AEW. She's starting to get her feet. She's starting to enjoy everything. Like she said, like like I remember listening to her on Jericho's podcast like a month or two ago, and she was like, towards the end of WWE, she was like, I was doing whatever, but like she was like, I was just getting so caught up and like I was just stressing out too much because I just want to wrestle and having to do all this stuff that I didn't want to do, but I did it anyway. Now she's over here and she's like, I'm happy. She's like, I'm happy. I'm wrestling. I'm having a great time, and I'm able to harness my craft here. And she's still very young. That's the best part too. Is she's very young, and they saw that it factor in her right away, and that's why she's champion right now. And putting a very technical person in the ring, Serena Deeb, with her, just made it even better because she knows how to do all the integral parts of a match. She was able to not carry Toni Storm because Toni Storm's a great wrestler, but able to kind of lead her to here and there and in certain scenarios that maybe she wouldn't before, because Serena is a former coach and she's just very smart up here with the business. And they created magic last night, especially with the ending.
Magic. Yeah, the ending, hell yeah! Just the ending itself, like everything was just so fucking great. I know people were like kind of died out. I heard the crowd was not really like, I was really like watching them to hear it. I didn't watch it again. I wanted to see how it was the crowd reaction. Of course, they're doing. It died out during the segment, of course, of Sarai and Britt Baker. Of course, they came out. Well, how do you mention your name? Well, I know how to protect my name. Blah blah. Yeah, it's fine. I'm not gonna say, oh, she had the best promo, or like I said, I'm not blaming Sarai at all. She just started. But besides the point, this match was fucking fantastic. I enjoyed it. Great chemistry that these two girls have. So, Serena knows how to fucking she's the professor for a reason. She knows how to put people over. This is why I wish we could have William Regal be her Paul Heyman and just have her join BCC. Oh, I was so loving just to have her there. And man, Toni Storm, like you mentioned, she's getting her groove back. It's like how Toni got her groove back. She's getting it, and I'm fucking happy, and I'm excited to see Toni Storm back in action again. The way how she used to be at Stardom, the way how she was at NXT UK. So we're seeing that again, little by little. She's getting that, like how you mentioned, she's getting that trust back. And I think maybe as much as I love Thunder, don't get me wrong, but I think at this point, I can't blame Thunder, though. It's not her fault. It's just like the way how they didn't book her right.
I will blame her. I have no problem blaming her.
You blame her because of her mic skills. That's what you blame her for.
Yeah, mic skills. But then there's all the chatter in the back and all the backstage stuff with her, with the accusing of sandbagging. She came out to that. And there's been times where you can notice where she's hurt people in the ring. Like, you're losing the trust of people. And I'm a big fan of her. Like, I loved her NWA stuff in NWA. during her time on there being the champion. I loved every bit of that, and I loved the early going of her in here with Britt Baker, especially in that Extreme Rules match that they had. But there's just something that's been missing. She's been just not great on the mic. And it wasn't just one moment. It was like 2, 3, 4 moments where she's been on the mic where it's just not resonated. And it's just been flat. People are just, I guess, over her. And part of it's not her fault, but then I do think part of it is her fault too. Like, I do get the booking part of it, but then at the same time, like, she hasn't been great on the mic. In the ring, she's been kind of sloppy a little bit here, a match here, a match there. She's had some great matches in between, but then it's like she needs to be consistently good because she's the champion. Yeah. It's like you're held to a bigger standard as the champion.
I mean, it's just so
it's not about the dirt sheets. It's about what I've seen. Like I've seen it. Like I've seen it. Like I've seen the moments where each thing has happened, and I'm like, and at first I'm like, okay, that's not true. And then I watch it, and I'm like, how can I not see that? You know.
I don't know what it is. I mean, I get your point. See it a lot. Like you know, I don't know if it's a story or not because you saw how Britt used it all sandbag. And it was like, I don't know if it's a story. Could be a story that he used. Maybe I think Thunder. I think she is right here mentally tired. She has a lot of things going besides being the women's champion.
Yeah,
you have to.
She has her own promotion that she runs. Promotion.
Yeah, and then you got things to take care of at home. Then you got a stepson. You want to help him grow. You want to be a mother.
She's on Busted Open.
And I'm Busted. Yeah, that too. It's like she. You know, I'll blame her for that because I'll blame her for the other extra projects, not the family things that she wanted to get involved with. Yeah. But now you overwhelm yourself. So maybe it got to her mentally. Maybe, hey, you know what?
Maybe that is the case. Maybe she's doing too much.
She's doing too much that she can't do well performing in the ring because, hey, how you gonna go back and hey, or what are we gonna do tonight? This we're gonna do it, and then you say, you're gonna do it. Then something else comes out. Something else comes around, and then you're thinking about that priority, and then, oh, shit, I forgot the match. You know, you're sandbagging. You're doing could be that case. That it could be it's just she mentally herself overwhelmed, and she needed that break, you know? And if that's the case, she should have lost the belt to, you know, before all this. Well, she didn't know she was injured. But she will have to lose the belt. But I hope they make it, a story with it, for her to lose it to Tony legitimately.
Yeah.
It don't make sense for me. Like, I book it like a fucking Michaels and Bret Hart. You know, booking like, I'm not saying Iron Man.
I was just gonna say do a ladder match. like they always do with these scenarios. They're always doing ladder match.
They could do that too. I mean, they definitely do that. But I mean, overall, I mean, if that's the case for Thunder, she needs that mental break, and I think she just needs to less overwhelm herself. She's the right hand person to take care of all her stuff, and not just say, "Oh, I'll do it myself." You gotta. Hey, man.
You could sit her down on the couch right next to Malachi Black.
Yeah. Yes.
Tranquilo.
Yes, tranquilo. Thunder Rose, tranquilo.
My guy right there.
That's right. Okay. Wait, what are you looking at? There you go. Zach Zombie. What are you looking at? Wait, what? I love that. That was a great segment.
Don't talk, Will. You don't need to talk.
And I wanted to get, you were going to hold on to it about the Andrade thing. See, Andrade, I'm your boss. I'm your boss. Telling what you done Blade and see Private Party, of course, from Rampage. We saw a little reuniting between Private Party and Matt Hardy, and then we saw the segment by on Dynamite. Are we seeing the reunion? Private Party and Matt Hardy. Are we seeing that?
I messed up your career, but Andrade is doing worse for you than I did as Money Matt. I loved it. And just like, I loved all the things on, like, right before Be the Elite went on, like, hiatus. Everything was money on there, especially where he's like, stay away from me. Stay away. He was like, I watch you from a distance. I don't want to ruin you guys. But, you know, but like, you guys need to be helped. He was like, I'm going to help you guys because they won't. It's like, it's getting flipped now. And like, I want to see Private Party succeed. This is a tag team that I remember seeing in the very beginning of Dynamite. They were great. Of course, great characters. They had him beat the Young Bucks right away in that tag title tournament.
That's right.
Yeah. It was the 1 versus the 7 seed or whatever it was. They beat the Young Bucks in Boston. I remember that. And then I saw them the next week, and they were on the old school dark, where it would only be like 1 or 2 matches. And it would be like a bonus thing that they would put on YouTube. But they were great. And then they kind of lost luster a little bit. I'm hoping this is their way back to rejuvenating Private Party, and you can put them with Matt. And Matt has paid his penances to people, and he's kind of zoned in on Private Party as the main one, because he's the one who had them together. It was just him and them, and then that's when he started to do the whole Money Matt thing. And it's kind of like a full circle now, where he brought him in, and now he's trying to get him out.
Yeah, I mean, if he does that, I'll be happy. And then the one thing is, you know, saying about Jeff Hardy is on his way back. Hopefully, Hardy. No,
I'm not gonna hold.
No
I'm not
means
gonna hold,
no.
I'm not gonna hold my breath on anything with him.
No, Jeff. No, only let us big boys do that. No. We can handle it. You know. So let's say they bring him back into the fold. They have the Hardys and Private Party being together. And, of course, let's say they head to the direction of now giving it to the Hardys later on, the tag team titles. Let's say one of the last matches they want to have ends up being Private Party. And they give it a Private Party, pretty much having them winning the tag team titles away from the Hardys. I mean, I don't mind that story because it makes sense because the whole Matt situation, how Matt, you guys remind me of me and my brother Jeff all the time. So why not? I wondered if they were planning to go towards that direction, if none of that would have happened with Jeff. I'm wondering if that was the direction they were heading to. I know we saw the match they had on, remember when I think way before Double or Nothing, way before that, when they had that tag match and they beat Private Party, but it wasn't like, oh my God, it was a great match. For me, it wasn't. It was like a squash match, you know. So I don't know. I feel that
what's going on in Cleveland?
What's going on, King of Cleveland? Thank you for tuning in, but I feel like they can still hit that story with having them reunite, have Jeff Hardy, and then all 4 of them they become like a little faction. Just say one of them they win the belts, or like the Hardys win the belts, and then have a Private Party, end their career. I don't want to say end their career, but end their stint in AEW, and then have them being tag team titles, later on in the future. I mean, I would say maybe within a year.
I think there's going to be something with them. Like, I'm not going to be like it's the same thing as Daniel Garcia.
Yeah.
But I would say, like, you've seen that Andrade is working more with the Butcher and the Blade more, and they're feeling kind of left out, and he just throws the assistant over to talk to them, and they're like, come on now. And it was them. And they're like, no, it was you. And then you have Matt pop up right afterwards and be like, you guys deserve better, And everything that's been going on the last couple months with this small storyline, hopefully it leads to Private Party coming back into the premier tag team storylines, and not just thrust into like the background, maybe wrestling on Rampage here and there, and then on Dark. Have them be on Dynamite because they're very talented.
Underrated.
I think they're still young. They're still young.
I wonder how old are they? Good question. But they're still young though. I don't think they're not in their. I wonder if they're in their 30s.
They are. Hold on. try and bring it up.
Let's see. Give me the age. Give me the age. Give me the age.
Cassidy was born in 97, and then Mark Quinn is 94. So they're in the 20s. 25 and 28.
25 and 28? Yeah, you're right. Yep. That's still young. They're not even like shit. They're not even 30 yet.
And they've been in the company for all 3 years. So
yeah,
that tells you they're 22 and 25 when they started. So yeah,
man.
You know,
what a way to give them the belts too, man. They should have been the tag team champions already by now. But you were gonna bring up Andrade. Now we're at the segment. You saw the Twitter Free Andrade, like Free El Idolo, like what the fuck, man? Ah, man. Give us your take on that shit. Bro. I don't know.
Just like Malachi, his wife is over there. Charlotte, you know, when he was when Andrade was used the best was when he was in NXT with Triple H, and then he was paired up, ironically, with Selena Vega. How ironic that is you see these four people kind of connected always with Selena, Charlotte, Malachi, and Andrade. They're connected because of her being his manager, but he won the NXT World title because of it. And that's when he went on that hot streak, and he got called up, and he got used like shit on WWE. And then he came over here, and he's kind of been hot and cold at moments over here, but he's been great in Mexico. They've been using him. Was it Triple A? They've used him great there, I feel like. And then he got thrusted into that Ric Flair last match, which he did a good job there. So it's like he's had some good moments, some bad moments, but it's like it makes you wonder, like, is he just playing into it? Is it real? But then at the same time, it's not like Charlotte's been working there. She's been out in the last 6 months. So it's like she's been following him around. So is she telling him so she telling him come back? Triple H is
baby, come back. Probably, hey, that could be the case. They're probably like, texting each other like, hey, look, he's right here with me. Look. Oh, hey, me wants to come back. I don't know.
Who knows? But then who knows? I forget how long he's under contract for. So who knows? So
that is true. I'm wondering. Now for the main event, of course, the GOAT. The Ring of Honor World Championship on the line. Chris Jericho versus Bandito. I don't look. I said it in the chat. I know people went thumbs down on it, and I'm gonna get thumbs down right now. But I'm sorry, guys, and this is my fucking opinion. Joe for the Ring, and supporting them out because that's the name of the podcast. Joe's our fucking opinion ring podcast. Chris Jericho is a good Joe for a reason. He's the greatest Jericho of all time. He is your Tom Brady of professional wrestling. Love him or hate him, he is making these stories in having the crowd invested. He's making them pop. He's making now Ring of Honor like, oh shit, now you're looking for who is the hero who's gonna save us from this villain. That's what you need to do to have people that way. Have him disrespect Ring of Honor. Have him shit on it so bad to piss people off and have people get invested to see who could dethrone this guy. Just like how you seen on Austin Theory, how everybody shits on him. Just like everybody you see on Roman Reigns by before when they shitted on him in the beginning. It's the same thing. I know people, Justin said it on last night's show. I saw you're tired of him. Why should you be tired of him? And I think you should be invested because he's putting people over, and he is putting eye on the product. He's sacrificing his ego to put someone else over. Yes, you're saying ego. What do you mean? He just won the belt. Why should I give them? You got to think in a marketing, in a business aspect. What makes more people to be invested to see? Putting a Ocho. Now he's an Ocho, a former WWE, former world heavyweight. Man, the list will go on. But this man, you have to give him the belt to do it. You need a Tom Brady this way. You need Ocho, the Ocho of professional wrestling, the Tom Brady of professional wrestling to piss people off. And I'm invested. I am happy. But this match overall, Jericho looks like he's back into his fucking mid-30s, I would say. At least early 30s, mid-30s in a way. He reminds me of the WCW Jericho. A little bit. But this, oh my God.
Look at September. The 2 of the 4 main events in Dynamite have been main evented by a Ring of Honor title. You had Yuta against Daniel Garcia for the pure title, and Chris Jericho played a part in that at the end. And then you got this one for the World title, where Jericho is in the match. And I said last night, and I'm going to say it again today, Chris Jericho is talking the Ring of Honor brand into existence. He's talking with everything that he's doing with it. I said it last night, week before that. If you want to build a brand right now, Chris Jericho is your guy. What did they do for AEW with Dynamite and AEW? They put the first belt on Chris Jericho, and he held it for 6 months until they had Moxley take it from him.
Yes.
And it was the right thing to do because Jericho is the big money guy. And look at Moxley now. He's big money now because he was able to take it from Jericho, and it rose his stock unbelievably after doing that rivalry, culminating in Revolution a couple of years ago. Now you're taking the Ring of Honor, which isn't even anything right now. They just have the titles here, but they had like the announcer. They have Ian Rakabani there. They have Caprice Coleman come on from time to time, and they have the whole crew there just for even one match. But they come on here and do it. They're trying to make a show. I think I even said it. It takes time with the merger. You got to wait. It's the dumb process where you got to wait until it's fully complete before they start doing new stuff. So it's going to be a while. But he's going to create it into existence by how he's doing this storyline. He's going to get the fans invested in Ring of Honor by being the bad guy. And another thing with this match, another video package for Bandito. So you're getting all these video packages. What's the main thing that he said after he won the match? Like, spoiler, we're going to say it. Jericho beat Bandito, but after the match, he goes, I'm going to run through every big name world champion that Ring of Honor has ever had. I'm going to beat them, and I'm not going to care. And the week before, when he won it, Ian Rakabani called this the Ring of Dishonor.
Yeah,
because he doesn't shake it. Like, he shaked his hand, but then like smacked him or whatever, or gave him a middle finger. He did one of those things.
He was like, hey,
yeah, boom. So he's trying to get heat for a good reason. And what I think is going to happen is every time he wrestles somebody, they're going to have a package for them from Ring of Honor, and you're going to get to know everybody in Ring of Honor, because they're going to wrestle Jericho and lose. Even Bryan Danielson. You might see a package of Danielson, old school wrestling in Ring of Honor, which would be cool. Because the fans that don't know what Ring of Honor was, because say they're just watching AEW and they're casual, you're basically going to get like a refresher course, like you're sitting in the class and they're teaching you a moment. This is going to be a moment of learning about what Ring of Honor was. And that's what he's doing. He's playing this game with everybody to suck everybody into, like, oh, why is he doing that? Like, what was Ring of Honor? I like this guy. I like that package. Ring of Honor seemed like a great the company. Oh, are they going to create one? Now I'm invested in because I want to see who takes the belt off of him because he's been such a hero, putting down everything that Ring of Honor was and disrespecting it. Yeah, and then he goes, and of course he knocks out the announcer, the ring announcer on top of it. So you're going to get these moments and you're going to get hyped in. And it's also coronated back into what we were talking about in the beginning of the show, Daniel Garcia and Bryan Danielson. He's going to wrestle Danielson. I think he beats Danielson by cheap help. And then you're going to get that build up. And maybe they bring back Final Battle. Maybe it's longer.
It's going to be longer. It could be Final Battle, I think so. Or do you think they might do it by like towards the end of the year? Like, what's normally December? This is just before Dishonor, right?
Final Battle.
December? Final Battle. Oh, there you go. Yeah, Final Battle. Yeah, if they can do Final Battle for December, that makes a lot of sense to the way how they're booking it. I think they might head the right direction.
Or they could stretch it out and stretch it out to Super Card of Honor. Who knows? Well, you can have a lot more time to wrestle more Ring of Honor guys that come in, and you can bring in for one-offs or whatever, and you just get like the history of Ring of Honor. People are going to get invested, and then when it gets beat, it's going to be Daniel Garcia who's going to take the title off of him. It's going to put Daniel Garcia super over as a babyface. So not only are you getting people invested in Ring of Honor, the company, in hopes of the brand coming into fruition, but then you're going to get Garcia super over as well, as he is with the slow build of him leaving the JAS and being more on the mic and being more on his own and more liked by the fans because he's a wrestler and not a sports entertainer. It's exactly. It's the small things that they're doing that I love with Jericho. A lot of people just see, it's Jericho trying to take all the spotlight and taking all the time on TV. No, he's doing what he needs to do to help the brand.
Thank you. Absolutely, you said it.
I love it. Wonderful.
That is right. You said it right because there's nothing. I mean, what can we say? Even with this match. When the fuck do we see Bandito holding a fucking suplex for almost a minute? I think it was like I had to go back and rewatch. I think it was like 55 or 56 around there. Like I was like, shit. I was like, oh, but I was really happy to see that. I was like, fuck. But Bandito, oh man, another thing I wanted to ask. I mean, we saw the whole thing with TK. The aftermath, after the match. But by the way, the match was fantastic. Once again, to go back and really rewatch it. Bandito really showcased Jericho, put a lot of trust in him, and he trusted him throughout the whole match. Seeing him take that fall away, from the top, I was like, oh shit! Man, just Jericho looks he's in great shape, man. He's really looking great. Other than that, I did like the fact seeing Tony Khan, of course, you saw him hugging the hugger. He's the real hugger, not Bailey. He's the real hugger. Tony Khan, the hugger, the real true hugger. Ain't that right?
Let's fucking go.
That's right, because that's very true. Hugging Bandito, and Bandito carrying him, and then of course, are we gonna see Bandito signing? Should he sign, or should he freelance? What should he do?
Hopefully he signs. Hopefully he has already. Because I think it was a good sign that he gave him a hug and he looked happy. And not just that he was happy with what the work that he did, but he's a big part of Ring of Honor. And just the way he lost was great. Like, it was like they told a story. Like, he's never tapped under the Ring of Honor brand, and it took him getting cheap-shotted and eye poked and then put in the walls of Jericho to tap because he couldn't see and whatnot. He was kind of handicapped for the moment. It was a great way. And then they had a wonderful match. Just like you said, they needed to hit all of his moves, had all of his moments that he needed. Jericho sold for him, and then at the end you put Jericho over a former champion, and they just did a great job in commentary. What a wonderful match. I think he signs. I think Tony Khan wants him there. And like, I want to see this match. I put it in the group chat, I think. I want this match. I want Pac versus Bandito for the All-In Championship. Give me what I want.
Give me what I want.
I had to do it. Give him what I want. I mean, you heard that. Give him what he wants. Yes, he does. Give it to him, damn it, because he wants to see that
Aggression.
out of these two guys. Hey, Pac, imagine Pac and Bandito. Oh my God. Oh, I can already get his picture. That's his
money.
Fuck yeah.
Hell yes.
Exactly. Oh my God. That will make money. That's for sure. But I mean, like I said, yes or no? And I know I'm pissed. I'm comparing Jericho to football, but is he your Tom Brady of professional wrestling?
I think it would have to be right now. Like, who else would it be?
Who
right
else could you exactly? Thank you. Somebody saying it, man. Right? Who? Okay, name me who else. There's nobody else out there.
Like, I feel like Jericho.
Below.
I feel like Jericho. It's kind of funny. Like, Jericho's from the cold, Canada, whereas Tom Brady went to Michigan, up north in the cold, and he was in New England, which is cold. That's where, say, WWE is, and they both went south to Florida because Brady went to Tampa, and then Jericho went to AEW, which is based in Jacksonville. and then ironically, I think that's where Jericho lives now, is Tampa.
That's true. He does. But what a fucking coincidence, though. What a fucking coincidence. I fucking love it, man. I'm excited for next week. I think next week is going to be so great to see these guys. Jericho as well. And, man, Dynamite this week, there's a lot of good shit happening next week, man. Besides what we have coming weekend, we have Royal Quest, of course. We have so much shit, man. We have Royal Quest, of course, Dan and myself and De Niro. Hopefully, if he's not back, then most likely he'll be back with the week after. But Dan and myself will be holding it down here for, of course, the New Japan show coming on Tuesday. We're going to be seeing Royal Quest. One thing they didn't mention, though, which I don't know if you saw, I think, is it true they're going to put it a day after on New Japan World because of the commentating? I was reading about that. Someone, I think I heard my BFF Uncle Seltzer said that they were saying that they were going to put it like.
I gotta double check with that, but if they do, because was it Saturday, Sunday, or Sunday, Monday?
Yeah, I think
it's Saturday, Sunday. So
yeah, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
So
if they do, it would be Sunday, Monday. So we should still be good.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, that's what I was wondering. Because I think they were going to delay on the commentating. I was like, why? It doesn't make any sense to me. But I'm looking at the schedule too.
Yeah, it depends on how it is. If they're going to do it live, or are they going to have the show and then have them do the commentary right afterwards? It depends.
What I was hearing, there was going to be supposedly like live. Oh yes, man. Leave the third sheets alone.
I don't need them.
We don't need none of them. We give our opinions. Devin, before you go, don't go anywhere. Like, I have to play this for you, Devin.
Acknowledge me.
Devin, see, we the ones. We the ones for you. We're the ones. That's right. We're the ones. You got to come in the show, Devin. You need to come on. Hopefully, see, maybe we can get you on maybe next week for the predictions of Extreme Rules. Which, by the way, I'm gonna say it right now, and I think Dad knows this too. But I'm gonna say it. That Bayley and Bianca, you know, it's gonna be a ladder match. Do you know that it's the first time ever women's ladder match 1-on-1 in the main roster? Not the NXT one, not Mia Yim and Io Shirai. Talking about in the main roster.
Yeah.
It's the first time that we see that happen. And I'm excited.
Oh, yeah.
And-
Yeah. I'm excited too. And, it's going to be a great match. And spoiler, I think it's a way to put Bailey over by not knocking down Bianca at the same time because she won't get pinned. She can lose without getting pinned because, of course, they got to grab the title, and you got Damage Control there that is probably going to help her. So I think it's going to be good. But I do want to say about Devin, if you ever want to watch a watch-along and you want to laugh with them and you want to just have pure excitement, check out Clark Street Wrestling Podcast. They do a lot of watch-alongs for WWE pay-per-views.
Oh my god,
AEW or whatnot. Check them out. I have a blast listening and watching to their to the one that they did a couple of weeks ago. Clash at the Castle. That was
I was
amazing.
up early. I was up early with we were all up early. We were all I was just seeing them like, what? No, hold on. Oh my god!
So definitely give Clark Street Wrestling a comment. Check them out. Subscribe to their channel and check them out whenever they go live for a live stream.
Absolutely, man. Indeed, yeah. That's the ones of podcasting. Them ones of podcasting for sure, man. But we appreciate you guys for tuning in today. We're wishing, of course, De Niro a speedy recovery, and he should be back hopefully within a week. We'll see him back soon. But yes, Dan and I will be holding the font right there in the front, right there, fighting for New Japan on Tuesday. We'll be here on Tuesday, and we'll be giving our recap for New Japan Royal Quest Night 2 for Night 1 and Night 2, and giving our predictions for Declaration of Power as well for New Japan. And I'm gonna have probably Dan come back we could do Extreme Rules predictions, and Bound for Glory 2 is coming up that same weekend.
Friday, it's coming. It's actually going to be on a Friday.
It's going to be on a Friday, yeah. Bound for Glory. Yeah. So that talk about that, and talk about, of course, the Dynamite anniversary next week. So I'm really excited. I'm fucking stoked. But
I'm excited too. Like with Cage My IQ, I'm going to be doing a prediction show for Extreme Rules. So I'm going to do that, of course, next week. Of course, I'm going to have to watch the pay-per-view the day after because I got a wedding next Saturday. So I'll be watching it on Sunday. So at some point when I recover from doing a lot of drinking, that I'll be doing, but it'll be worth it. So I'll be putting a prediction video out. I think I might even go live for it. So,
there we go.
I'm getting that all set up, and I'm gonna try and get people on to for the video to give their inputs and their opinions I think I'm gonna do it next week so that we see if they announce any more matches tomorrow, and then have like a final say of what the card is gonna be, and then I'll figure out a day and time to do it live. But of course, then me and you are going to do New Japan, and it's an easy week for me with the next week having no UFC events. So
that's right. They're taking a break, and also, this weekend, the Dern, that one is no crowd. I guess I heard it this morning, and I confirmed it too because I wanted to make sure. Yeah. It's confirmed that there's not going to be no crowd. It's a private event between this fight night this weekend. Not even no press. It's only just I forgot who it is who's actually booking this private event. I forgot the name of the guy who it is.
Zuckerberg is the rumor.
Yeah, that's what I hear. It's a rumor. It's here. Zuckerberg was the one. So I don't know.
It's not the dirt sheet.
No, that's not the dirt sheet. That's actually that's ESPN. That's ESPN reporting that. So I believe ESPN because they're legit. They're legit. So that's going to be, fascinating to see. No crowd and just, but it'll still be live. It'll still be there on ESPN Plus. So I'm really looking forward. I think I'm going to tune in and watch that. Yeah, I know Bellator. They told the press, "Come over. We'll invite you over because they're having a show here in Long Beach." I forgot they're having a show in Long Beach. I forgot all about.
It's gonna be a great show. Like I enjoy Bellator. Like I enjoy the product now. I love the Grand Prix that they do.
I like
That's like their staple now. They're back on Showtime. Yeah, that's kind of my reason I keep my Showtime is because of that. And then they're just signing the right people and doing the right things with the champions. So
Yeah, I guess it looks like you have Saturday. You have so it's Pitbull versus Borix.
Pitbull, Adam Borks. You got AJ McKee going to lightweight division
versus Carly
against Carlisle.
Well, Carlisle. It's Carlisle.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna have to. I'm really gonna have to watch this for sure. That's right. I'm gonna have to watch this. Hell yeah.
It's like I said. I got a busy day tomorrow because we got SmackDown, we got Rampage, and then I got Bellator and one championship since it's going to be on Amazon Prime at 8:00. So,
oh man, it's just a lot of good stuff out there, gentlemen. But don't forget, of course, to subscribe to my brother Dan Bakley, Cage at My IQ. The description's right below. Description below. Follow him all over. Follow him on social media platforms: Instagram, Twitter. He's not on Facebook, but he probably will soon.
Yeah, I got some collabs coming up that I'm working on right now with a couple podcasts. So I'll be announcing some of that very soon. We're working with that, me and another podcast.
Ooh, we're excited. Yes. But it's that time, ladies and gentlemen.
Autobots, transform and roll out.
Yes, it is about it is about that time, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, as you know, this is the host of TV's One I've Been See, and also just letting all audio platform out there in Latinoamérica. Gracias por todo. Saludos a ustedes de Honduras, México, Guatemala, Salvador, México, Colombia, Venezuela, Brasil. Todos ustedes, gracias por escuchar aquí. No se olvide para suscribir aquí con mi hermano aquí, el Daniel Bakley. Suscriben para su canal de Cage My IQ. Está abajo, todos los suscribidos abajo. Suscribe y síguelo también. All of our European listeners, shout out to everybody. Switzerland, UK, Belgium, Germany, Czech Republic, Fiji out there, India as well. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. We'll be back next week, maybe tomorrow. We'll see, depending how everybody's feeling tomorrow, because weather change here in California makes everybody feel like, except for me. I don't know why. I'm cold blooded, I guess, or I'm warm blooded. I don't have no idea.
Just try being on the East Coast.
Oh man, I don't think it will hang. I don't think it will hang, but I will try. But there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for tuning in. So host TV's One I've Been Seeing, of course, my other host here, Dan Bakley, with letting you guys know that Cage My IQ and the Circle Debate is not just podcasts. We make fucking history.
Will
over and over,
make
over and over,
history
over and over and